Okay, stop.
Making Sam's job harder since 1992.
You were born in 1992. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the McDonCast. We've got not a whole lot of news, but a lot of reviews.
Well,
except for,
reviews of things I haven't seen.
Yeah, except for Patrick hasn't seen WandaVision yet, so we won't be reviewing that today.
Still.
We can review. I don't
still
mind.
hasn't seen it.
We can review up to you can just review the finale. I don't care.
But then we can't talk about it, because you'll just be like, I don't know what's happening, so we gotta wait till you've seen it so we can talk about it.
It should be fine.
Okay.
What do we got first on the
Let's
docket?
start off with our epic gaming news.
Gaming news. This is where the thing will go.
Sam,
That thing.
you entered movie news into the gaming part.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
The order is ever fluctuating.
Sam, we are famous for our structure, editing, and consistent release schedule.
Every word that comes out of your mouth is another word that the viewers don't care about and will probably leave while you're talking about.
Good.
Let's get into the content.
Okay, first off, Pyra and Mithra came out in Smash last week.
Mm-hmm.
They are just totally busted. Totally overpowered. They got so many moves. They do so much damage.
Care to elaborate any further?
Yeah, so basically the way the character works is like you can switch between Pyra and Mithra mid-battle, and they both have almost completely different movesets. So the person you're fighting has to fight basically two different characters.
Microphone up closer.
Why would I do that?
So that they can hear you better.
They can hear me fine.
Now they'll hear you better if it's like up close.
Yeah.
There.
It's like you're kissing it.
No, Tucker. Your mic is way over there.
Well, that's because we can't have it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine. I can see the audio levels. I know how loud it is. Alright. So yeah, that's the new character. Watch Sakurai review it. He knows what's up. I haven't actually seen Sakurai's review yet, so I don't know what all the character does. I've just been playing her for like the last couple days, and she's pretty fun. So. Alright, despite everyone hating the new Marvel Avengers game on the PlayStation, by the way, moving on to a new topic, they've decided to raise the amount of XP required to get to level 25.
To get past level 25.
Yeah. So, if you just really wanted to play that game you already don't want to play even more, well, now you have to. So, that's always
Yeah,
fun.
I love it when developers are like, hey, I know you're not playing our game, and we don't have any content
But how about
for
we
it,
don't play it any?
but if we
like,
make it
more than
harder
we're
for you to
already
play, then will you play it more? Question mark?
And the answer is, of course, yes.
Is there anything locked behind level 25?
I don't think so. I think the levels are like pretty arbitrary. You probably unlock like Destiny style upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, I
where
would
it's
imagine so.
raise your attack stat by 5, but your defense lowers by 3.
Yeah, so basically like Pokemon rules. Alright, what do we got next?
Next news.
Very credible rumors of the Switch Pro coming sometime this year.
Are they very credible, or are you joking?
They're from Bloomberg, so I mean, they've been pretty right about their rumors thus far. Pretty much any time they talk about a rumor, it
They
pretty much
couldn't
always
put a
ends up being
1080p
right.
screen on it.
Usually when there's like
Nope.
we'll get to that, but usually when there's like a somewhat real newspaper reporting on it,
Everyone knows.
usually it's because it's entered manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's if it's entered manufacturing, that's definitely coming.
of
They leaked the
course.
Switch Lite like 5 months
And
before.
of course, Mike has got us covered. So.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to make his billions,
He will get it done. Mike will get it done.
according to his campaign slogan.
Now he immediately dropped as soon as he dropped out about a month after entering the race.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's supposed to have a 720p screen.
And it'll be OLED.
According to the dimensions,
Oh,
it's actually the same size as the regular Switch. So the rumor is that even though it's the screen's gonna be bigger, it's just gonna have like less bevel, which is
So
like,
it's still gonna have like the same pixel density.
no, it'll have a much lower pixel density because the screen is gonna get bigger.
Wait, what is it now?
I don't know what the pixel density is, but if it stays the same size but the screen gets bigger and the resolution
right
stays
now?
the
Is it a
same,
720p?
yeah, it's 720p right now.
So they're gonna make it bigger, which means
Yeah.
it will look worse.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Exactly.
We're moving in the right direction.
The opposite of the Switch Lite, where they made it smaller so it looked better.
So play the Switch Lite.
I mean,
That's the moral of the story.
that's what they did for the 3DS XL. Is the resolution of the screen didn't change; it just got way bigger. So
Yeah.
actually, the 3DS XL, both versions of it, look worse than the normal 3DS.
Yeah. I think that they should have just gone the straight up opposite of the Switch Lite. Made a home-only console. Called it the Switch
Home.
Home. There we go. And it just stays docked and it outputs 4K at like 120 FPS.
I think you'd call it the Switch Heavy.
Or
Because
the
it's the Switch Lite.
Switch Heavy.
Switch Heavy. It weighs like 600 pounds.
What about the Switch Family?
Because you know how the PS4 Pro is like the Xbox is like really heavy for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's that but a Switch, and like it's not because there's a lot of technology in it, just because they wanted to make it super heavy.
What about like
So there's just like a bunch of like 15-pound weights in it.
They could make a dedicated Wii emulator that only emulates the Wii.
They have that on the
That's
Wii.
what everyone wants them to add, and they just won't.
The Wii U has a Wii built into it, like an entire.
Well,
Wii.
it is a Wii
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's a Wii jacked up on steroids.
Yeah, it's just a Wii with like a 1080p output. That's really all it is.
Mhm.
It was basically the same.
And then the Switch is basically just that, but smaller. So they really haven't had a significant change in their
It's like they
power
merged,
since 2008.
they merged the DS and the Wii
Yeah,
and came up with the Switch.
yeah. I mean, the Switch is definitely more powerful than like the Wii U, but it's like not by much.
It's slightly more powerful.
Yeah.
But
But
you know,
apparently-
Nintendo was never going for power.
Well, the Wii U was way more powerful than the Wii. It's just they didn't really use it.
Well, no. The
That
problem
much.
with the Wii U is that it had the technology of the PS3 and the Xbox 360,
Mm-hmm.
but it came out in the final year of their life,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's on its second year of being around. It was already less powerful than the PS4 and Xbox One.
Important question: will the Switch Pro have ray tracing?
No.
Definitely not.
Switch Pro with ray tracing?
If you can cram even remotely
The
similar,
Switch Pro had ray tracing, and you took it out of the dock, it would immediately melt. It would just burst into flames and become a puddle of plastic.
Mhm.
Well, then make it out of metal.
You end up with kids with like
Burn
third-degree
little kids' hands
burns from
off.
playing the Switch.
Well, the metal will act as a heat sink.
Yeah, but apparently it'll also be capable of 4K output while docked. Now, I don't think it'll be native 4K. It'll probably be upscaling.
There's no fan, is there?
And there's a fan. It's
No,
not very
there
big.
is. There's just one.
Yeah.
Why don't they just make the dock like a fan? It has they should make the dock with a fan in it, so it can cool the Switch, so it can do cooler things when it's docked.
That's what they probably should have done, but they decided not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch is basically just an HDMI to USB-C
Yeah.
converter. That's
So,
really all it is.
What we're looking at is not as powerful an upgrade as we would have liked, but still. I mean, we don't know. We know what resolutions are going to be. We don't know what kind of internal upgrades this thing is getting.
I mean,
so
I
it
honestly,
could be bigger than we think it is, but this doesn't look that big of a leap.
I honestly don't care if it's not that big of a leap because I want to still be able to play those new Switch games that come out, and if they have a significant increase in power, they'll make a bunch of games Pro exclusive.
Mhm.
Do you think it will make the normal Switch cheaper?
No.
Do you
It'll
think-
stay. This will be like $350 or $400, and the other
Mhm.
will just stay $300.
What's the Switch Lite at?
$250? I think.
And you can't
Is it
dock
200?
it.
It's
might
one.
be
It's
200.
$199. It's been $199
Yeah,
since
it's
launch.
200.
And you can't dock it. It's just
It's just portable only.
Yeah. So this will probably be $400. So it's 200, 300, 400
Mhm.
in scale.
That would make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of extra things do you get for going pro? Like, what's the incentive to go pro?
4K output and bigger screen.
That's it.
I don't think this will have as big as a marketing push as even the Lite did.
Maybe better build
Yeah.
quality.
I think it'll be same as the new 3DS, where it's
Mhm.
it came out. They added a couple of new features.
It's new.
There was 4 exclusive games
Yeah.
on it.
They might have upgraded Joy-Cons or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ones
They
that don't
need
break.
to release new Joy-Cons that don't drift.
They
It's
need
been
to, but they're not going to.
stupid. Why haven't they done that?
They just gotta stop stuff from getting
The
in.
Joy-Cons are going to be the same, and the dock is going to be the same.
No.
That would be really dumb.
The only difference will be the Switch itself.
My God.
That's a shame. They should fix that.
Trust me. All gaming companies are famously lazy and anti-consumer.
Yep, pretty much. Alrighty, what's next? Minecraft Dungeons gets an arcade cabinet port coming soon. So yeah, if you
This
go,
is the hottest gaming piece of technology: arcade cabinets.
if you go into your local
Dave
main
and Buster's?
event or Dave and Buster's, you'll soon be able to play 4-player co-op multiplayer Minecraft Dungeons on an arcade cabinet. So,
My question is,
woohoo!
Heroes of our time.
when is normal Minecraft coming out?
It's out
On
already.
arcade.
Oh, never. That wouldn't make any sense.
Got like 2 of the Pac-Man joysticks. That's how you move the guy in the camera.
I mean, the way I would imagine it works is like basically the same as the PC game, just with like smaller levels and like less weapons, and you just choose before you start.
I like the
you
Flappy
choose
Bird
from like
machine.
You hit the button and it goes up and down and up and down.
Or there's that like tower stacker one.
I hate that one.
I
That one's
hate that one
stupid.
so much.
No, it's so easy to get a lot of tickets. Hey, have you ever gone? You know the
You want tickets, just
Grandscape
spin the
area.
wheel.
You know what?
You ever been to Grandscape? In the colony?
No.
Oh, we gotta go. There's indoor go-karting place that also has arcade games and bowling. It's pretty epic.
I've been to it.
So like what was that place
What was it?
called?
Yeah, I know what you're
Something Jacks.
Oh, it's not like Crazy Jacks or something.
It's basically
Crazy Jake's.
Crazy Jakes. Is it
Was
Crazy
it Crazy
Jakes?
Jake's?
It's basically
Comment
pins-
in the comments
It's
below.
pin stack
What
with-
are we talking about?
It's pin stack with indoor multi-level
No,
go.
There
kart
used to be
racing.
one of those in the Collin Creek Mall.
Crazy
It's
Jakes.
this one's called like Andrade or something.
Yeah, it was called
Mhm.
Crazy Jake's. It was the
Mhm.
same as what you're talking about. It had bowling
It wasn't called
An
Crazy
arcade.
Jakes, it was called something else.
and it had like a little. I mean, the go kart thing was kind of small. It was just like a loop.
No, this is like this is like you ever been to pole position?
Mm.
This is like that, but in there it's smaller, but it's also like multi-level. But the carts don't go as fast.
Right, what are you talking about, Patrick?
Andrade.
Is it
Pole
that one?
position is kind of
Andrade?
Yeah,
dumb with the way that they design their whole setup.
pole position goes fast though.
Yeah.
Well, they go fast, but there's so many turns that you can't
yeah,
actually
the
go fast.
course is too hard.
You can go fast for like a second.
Yeah,
and then you have to slow
And
down.
also, it's
No.
not very big, and
I-
they cram too many people on it.
Well, how do you do it? I just leave my foot down on the gas the entire time.
Yeah, no, I learned how to drift because of pole position because I was tired of like having to deal with speed. So I was like, fine, I'll just drift every
No,
turn.
but then you like come up to someone and you gotta like slam on your brakes.
That's the thing. There's also way too many people, and they crash every like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's
And then-
really easy to get first.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
the track is super narrow, it like barely fits one cart, and they show like 8 carts in there at a time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more fun if it's like a group of like 4 or 5.
Yeah, if it's more than like 5 people, then you're just gonna end up.
You're wasting your time.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get any high records.
yeah. Because remember the time our Philmont crew went there, and like
Okay, that was fun. It was fun though.
that was fun, but like we had to stop it
I got first.
every few. Yeah, I got second.
So your Philmont crew, or is that just the Bald Eagle Patrol?
No, it was the Philmont crew.
We did.
We
There
did
was
a
Bald
Bald
Eagle.
Eagle Patrol,
Bald
I
Eagles
think,
did one
yeah.
before, yeah.
Yeah, we've gone there with both, but yeah,
That you guys went back when it was called.
it was called.
It was called Pole Position, and then it changed to Cartland.
Is it
Yeah.
Cartland? Oh yeah, it's Cartland now. Yeah.
They should just make it Mario Kart themed and buy the license to use those characters.
That would be so cool.
That's
You know
so
what?
easy.
A
You know-
Mario Kart themed go karting.
You know, a kid
Yeah.
died at a pole position one time because like the
Well,
cart
that's
like
his
jumped
fault.
over and like crushed his
How
neck.
does that even happen?
He was like stopped at the wall, but the other person kept going, and he zoomed up and crushed his neck. That's why they slow down the carts whenever there's a crash now.
Mhm.
It's because that
They
kid
didn't do that before.
got his neck crushed by a cart that was going too fast.
Patrick, safety rules only come in play after.
What are we
someone
even
is
talking?
fired.
What were we even talking about? Minecraft
Minecraft
Dungeons.
Dungeons arcade cabinet. That's gonna be a clip. We're gonna cut that. We're gonna put talks about go karts.
Talks about go karts randomly for no reason. All right.
Go-kart ran.
Yeah, so some ex-Activision employees created a studio called Audacity Games to develop games for the Atari 2600. You know, that very relevant console that
I think
people
it's gonna be a
still
big hit.
play.
I think they're gonna do really well. They're gonna make a lot of money. Sell so many units, probably about 4 or 5.
Million.
No, just
Million
5.
for sure. Like, what are y'all thinking? Why did you think that was a good idea?
There's a reason they don't work anywhere.
There's a reason why they're
I don't
ex-Activision
think they
employees.
quit. I think they were fired.
hmm
We quit to start our own company that makes only games for Atari.
For a console that came out 40 years ago.
And a company that no longer even exists.
You're welcome. Problem solved.
The only current use of the Atari IP, like in modern day, is on clothing. I think like Old Navy owns
Or
the
like-
rights to use it for clothes,
Or
and that's
like
like
Flash games.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Flash games.
Yeah, those are gone now.
Because Flash is
No
disintegrated.
more.
There's got to be a way to update them into the modern age.
Probably, but you can't because you can't get the game anymore. So, anyways, what's next? Oh, is that it for gaming? Is there, Patrick? You got any gaming stuff?
No.
No. Alrighty.
Still playing Forza.
Forza and Minecraft only.
Only exclusively. I love the Netflix game.
You should get
Oh
Jedi
my-
Fallen Order for the Xbox.
Oh yeah, I should. But you know, I'm really into the Disney Plus game right now.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh, it's on an Xbox and not.
WandaVision binge simulator.
I don't understand how you watch 2 episodes and not the season finale.
I got bored.
Before the season finale, you weren't even like, I guess I'll finish this. You were like, I can't watch this.
Well, no, I was like, I just started doing something else. I kind of forgot.
Alright, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. What's next? Alright, so we're going to TV news now. We got the Wonder Years reboot at ABC.
What's that?
Remember the sitcom The Wonder Years?
Yeah,
Does
I don't know
anyone?
what that is.
From the 80s?
Everything's from the 80s. You're going to have to be more specific.
I can't. It's one of the most generic sitcoms ever made.
What is it, like Family Guy, but like
It was just
not
a normal
satire?
family sitcom. Like, if you were to just, like, make the most basic family sitcom of all time, it would be Wonder Years.
And I'm sure it was.
I think Michael J. Fox was in it.
Was it wildly successful?
No.
Was it the
But
opposite
some
of that?
people remember the name, so it's getting rebooted.
Was it moderately successful?
Yeah, sort of.
How do you sort of be
It
moderately
was 6
successful?
seasons long. Fred Savage was the main.
If you make a sitcom and it's only 6 seasons long, that's not like an achievement. How
Well,
many years was Full House running?
it's an achievement for a Community because they were constantly threatening to be canceled since the first episode.
And they were moved to like Yahoo streaming.
Full House was like probably like 12, like 8 seasons. Yeah, Full House was 8 seasons. Plus they had like that Fuller House reboot was like 7 seasons on its own.
That did not.
I don't understand how that's still going.
It isn't. It's done.
Good.
Oh God.
But
It was not
yeah,
good.
Wonder Years was the kickstart for Fred Savage's career.
Is he related to Derek Savage?
No, that's Fred Savage
I know, but it would be
from
funny.
Princess Bride.
But it would be funny if he was related to
Ben
Derek Savage.
Savage's older brother. If it weren't for the Wonder Years, we wouldn't have Boy Meets World,
I don't really care about Boy Meets World. I don't know anything about it. Doesn't
which
seem
lasted
interesting.
longer than the Wonder Years, ironically.
Was it a spin-off?
Nope. Just
Yeah.
starred his brother. Although Fred Savage was in one episode, but he played a pervy college teacher.
Oh, cool, fun. That's the one every person wants to play.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure it was probably just a prank by his brother on the same show.
No, we don't do pranks here.
Oh, I realized I didn't plug in either of the phones. I'm gonna do that.
McDonCast is very anti-pranks.
Alright, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna plug these in.
Okay, what's
Moving on. Do you remember The Simpsons, Patrick?
I do recall The Simpsons.
The show that's been on for twice.
Is it still? They're still making new ones. aren't
How
they?
you're 18, right, Patrick?
I'm 18.
So, The Simpsons has been on for twice of the amount of years that you have been alive.
Good.
So they're currently airing season 32,
And they're already renewed for season 33.
and they're renewed for seasons 33 and 34.
I like when, I like.
Sam
when
just heard
shows
himself
are-
eating
I
McDonald's.
bit my finger.
Where'd you get all those fries? Did you get like a
I just dumped them out from
mega
there.
large one? Oh my god, that is a huge fry.
Yeah, that's the large fry size.
Why is the small so small?
This is the
compared to
third
large?
time he's eaten there in the past week.
Sam,
You were there also.
I was there also. That was a good show.
I think you guys have a problem.
And that was last week.
Oh no, definitely.
You guys, I think once a week is plenty for McDonald's.
We normally do. Yeah, it was because he's counting Tuesday, the last podcast.
We know it was Monday, or was it Tuesday?
It was Tuesday, and then we went there for lunch on the day we saw the movie. Or
No,
we went there for breakfast the day we
breakfast.
saw the movie because we didn't have time.
Okay,
to eat breakfast.
McDonald's breakfast doesn't count as
That's
Yeah, that's
true.
what I said. Number
That
one,
is-
breakfast doesn't count because that's a different thing
If
altogether.
McDonald's just transitioned to selling their own breakfast food, they would do better. because it just is better than their normal food.
Mm-hmm.
No, Chick-fil-A does one breakfast thing. So if you want one breakfast,
Oh,
you
they're
go to Chick-fil-A,
their little.
get the chicken minis,
Those are good. You're
which
right.
is just their. Oh,
My only problem with the chicken minis is
it's
the
just
bread.
it's
The
just
bread
a
gets
chicken
really
nugget.
soggy.
No, but the bread is so good. It's got like that honey butter or whatever on it.
That is,
You know,
Every time I've
Whataburger-
had them, it's always catered. and then they're
Whataburger
always
has really
like,
good
nasty.
breakfast.
they do.
I've
I don't
never
think I've
had
ever eaten
Whataburger breakfast.
If you want to get the honey butter chicken biscuit,
Oh, actually, I did have that one time at a debate because the school was selling them. Yeah, it was fine.
it's pretty good.
I've only ever had Chick-fil-A breakfast, McDonald's breakfast, and Taco Cabana breakfast.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
What? Did I not eat Wendy's? Did I miss the Wendy's breakfast?
No,
Does
no,
Wendy's
you
make
ate Taco
breakfast?
I
Cabana.
think so.
Hey, don't.
Hey, Google.
Okay.
Does Wendy's make breakfast?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Google's stupid. Google didn't hear me.
Hey,
Alright.
Google.
No, let's just
I
not.
don't even think it's.
You wanna look at the Wendy's
All right,
breakfast?
what's next?
No,
Anyway, no, we're not
gonna
done
read
talking
through the
about. We're not done
Wendy's
talking about The
breakfast menu.
Simpsons.
Wendy's breakfast menu.
Oh, let's see what Wendy's got in the breakfast.
So actually, it doesn't look half bad.
They have croissants.
Croissants with chicken or whatever and bacon, biscuits.
Everyone makes biscuits.
It's because it's easy to make a biscuit. It doesn't look that bad.
Well,
But
it's
it's
just
Wendy's, so
generic
it'll
fast
probably
food
be pretty
breakfast.
meh.
Well, probably no one eats it. But they are the official breakfast of March Madness.
I'm glad.
Do you think anyone who plays in March Madness ever eats Wendy's ever?
I think they try to avoid it. specifically.
Alright. Anyway, yeah, so The
What the
Simpsons.
heck is Flora and Ulysses?
That is a Disney Plus original film about a girl who finds a squirrel with superpowers.
You know that Squirrel Green
Oh
Lantern?
my god.
Yeah.
It's
Can
the
we watch
origin
this?
story of that character.
Do you want to watch
Can
this?
we watch this?
We can watch it after the
I've heard
podcast.
it's okay.
I was really close to watching it one day.
I want to see that.
Honestly, the Disney Plus original movies are.
They've
all
been pretty
terrible.
good so far.
That
Like,
Timmy Failure one was pretty
Timmy
good.
Failure's actually a good movie. I would actually recommend that.
What is Secrets of Sulfur Springs?
I think that's a
I
Disney
don't know.
Channel show that's just been airing weekly on Disney Plus because
Yeah.
Disney Channel is dead.
Yeah, because probably that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Griffin and his family moved to the old Trimmet Hotel in the town of Sulphur Springs. The entire town believes that the hotel is haunted by a ghost of a girl named Savannah.
That'd be funny if Patrick read movie trailers. Like, hi everybody, it's Avengers 6. The Avengers are back and there's a new bad guy.
That does not sound like Patrick.
Patrick, do the voice.
Walt Disney Animation Studio, Raya and the Last Dragon travels to fantasy world of Kumandra.
Except for it's not even called that until the very end of the movie. Anyways, we'll
Anyways,
talk about that
Anyway,
too.
Simpsons. Season 33, 34. I don't even know why they keep renewing it like this. Just renew it forever.
Just
and
renew it for... Just have a
Renewed-
permanent renewal until the people making
until
it die.
Dan
Renewed
Castellaneta
until all
dies.
the writers die.
No,
Mhm.
they've had like 8 different writing teams.
Doesn't matter. It's the same
No,
show.
no. Again, it's until the voice of Homer Simpson dies. It's gonna keep going. It
How
will
old is
never
he?
stop. I think he's like 64.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
so
they
it's
still
gonna
got a
So
lot.
they have at least 10 more years left.
It's gonna run for 20 more years.
It'll if they make it to season
until
50,
all the original fans of the show die.
Mm-hmm.
then we can finally sell that chess game.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even think we can sell it anymore because the box is all beat up.
No, it's just probably worth like $5. Anyway, Patrick the starfish from SpongeBob.
Not that Patrick.
Oh my!
Not this Patrick. Patrick. Oh yeah, Garfield: The Tale of Two Kitties is on Disney Plus now.
Thank God.
I know. Garfield 1 isn't.
What is?
Well, to be fair, the second one is better.
That's true. It is better. You thinking about watching?
Oh, they
Dog with a
moved
Blog?
Dog with a Blog. I used to watch that. Pair of Kings. Man, these are.
Classic
These are
Disney Channel
classics.
programs. Anyway,
Disney
Patch-
Channel has been moved entirely to Disney Plus.
I
They
used to
should-
think that
They
Dog
should
with a
just add
Blog...
like a
and-
Disney Channel button.
yeah,
For a while, I thought Dog with a Blog and Good Luck Charlie were the same show.
They were. They were like the same era.
Yeah, well, they
Weren't
were... Like,
they both had like the same looking dog as a baby.
They all
Yeah.
have. They all have
Well,
like the same kind
they
of.
both
nice
had the
house.
same dog, and the family was, like, basically the same.
That's
Good Luck
probably-
Charlie didn't have a dog.
Probably
Yeah, they did.
Did
It
it?
just didn't... It didn't do anything. It was just, like, a dog.
No,
I thought
Probably
they had a
because-
dog.
no.
probably because Disney Channel has like 3 dogs they use for everything.
And, like, the same group of
Okay,
actors.
they had a dog at one point, but it looks nothing.
Patrick, I don't know. We didn't watch Good Luck Charlie. The only time we heard about it was when we were turning on Phineas and Ferb in the commercial for the new episode.
Now,
came
Phineas and Ferb. Solid.
That's a show that should get renewed for another season, since they're trying to slowly turn Milo Murphy's Law into Phineas and Ferb.
I think that's just because they weren't allowed to make another season.
Same creators,
And
right?
they just really love it. Honestly, no, they haven't made a new season of Milo Murphy's Law.
Now
in
that
2
Phineas
years.
and Ferb guy is just on TikTok.
Phineas and Ferb will get a new season, and it'll be Disney Plus
They
exclusive.
took a break from Milo Murphy's Law to do the Phineas and Ferb movie for Disney Plus, and then I don't even know.
Why was the animation for that movie so weird? I haven't even seen the movie.
I think it's because
the animation looked really
I think
weird.
it's because it was the Milo Murphy's Law team who did that one, and it wasn't the.
Those shows look exactly the same. Why was the movie weird?
Yeah, it's different animation staff though, and the style's slightly tweaked.
I don't care.
Like the character design in Milo Murphy's Law is less exaggerated than in Phineas and Ferb.
Well, that's just because Phineas and Ferb were like the main characters. Because everyone else in Phineas and Ferb looked normal.
Phineas had a triangle head.
You know when you
Yeah,
go...
but they were the only ones with weird heads. All the other characters, I guess in
Phineas
Disney
and
Schmerz,
Ferb
had weird heads.
You remember
Candace
No one else
had a really long neck.
You remember when you went to go watch your Toons in the morning and they ran like 50 episodes of Phineas and Ferb like consecutively?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun. That's because it was the only hit cartoon.
And
Disney
then Rebels
Channel
would
had.
come on.
And then you turn the TV off.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that's when you switch to Cartoon Network and watch
Close.
Green Lantern the animated series.
Oh, was that running?
That's a quality cartoon, but it only ran for a season because the movie flopped and they didn't want to. Then the toy
Yeah.
sales weren't
The
good.
show was good, though. That show was good.
Anyway, Patrick the Star is getting a spin-off prequel series. It's not really a prequel.
Is it also exclusive to whatever the other ones are?
No, this will air on Nickelodeon.
Plus.
This will not be exclusive to Paramount Plus. This will be on Nickelodeon. So
I don't have any water. I want water.
there will be 3 animated SpongeBob cartoons airing concurrently. SpongeBob, The Patrick Show, and Camp Coral, the 3D animated prequel. And Netflix is also developing its own spin-off SpongeBob cartoon. So at some point we'll have 4 or 5 airing at the same time.
Ooh, what's inside Pixar? Is that good?
That's like just like documentary shorts about Pixar staff.
Cool.
I don't
All
care
right.
about their staff.
There's just, when we're doing the podcast, this is what Patrick does. He just like surfs the web.
All right. What's next?
The Flash.
Well, there's a Wonder Woman. Wonder
No,
Woman.
we skipped the Flash one.
Oh yeah, Flash season premiere.
Flash season 7 premiered on Tuesday of last week.
I didn't watch it. Tucker, what is it about?
I watched it. They are continuing the plot of season 6 because they weren't able to shoot the final 3 episodes because of coronavirus. Apparently this episode was 90% done before COVID hit, and they just couldn't shoot the last bit, so they weren't able to air it. I know which part they shot. Literally, it's I think 2 scenes were shot after coronavirus.
Mhm.
I think the rest of it was all filmed beforehand. It's weird because almost the entire cast is currently not in the show right now, and they killed the main character.
They killed the Flash.
No, they killed a main character. They did not kill the main character.
Wait, who died?
Spoilers: Nash Wells died.
Oh,
No.
right.
Oh
He
well,
doesn't count.
all the Wells died. Like, because they were all in him. Like all of their mind particles were in his mind, and they
Bro,
all.
This show is just.
This is. I'm not making this up. And then.
Wells only exists so that they can kill him off every season.
Yeah.
He
And-
literally dies every season that he's. Anytime there's a new one, he dies at the end of the
You
season.
know, I would have been completely fine if he never came back after the first season.
Mm-hmm.
What's Tom Cavanaugh gonna do then?
Produce the show?
He should just find another job.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only good part of the show. He's the only actually good actor on the show.
Is Iris any less horrible?
No, she's still pretty annoying.
She was good at.
Although she's separated from the rest of the team right now, so it's way better.
She was good in season 1 when she did nothing.
Well, no, she was a writer.
Okay,
She was
well that was the good part. And then
when she had a writing job. That's when she was at her best because she had something to
and
do.
then she joined the team, the squad.
She was getting better in season 6 because they made her a reporter
Because they made her a writer
and
again.
they gave her stuff to do. But then they trapped her in the Mirrorverse, and she's just been sitting there going, ugh.
Oh no, my brain
for
hurts.
literally 12 or 15
But
episodes.
would you rather have that, or would you rather have her as part of the team?
I'd rather have her part of the team, but actually doing something.
No,
The reason she sucked before was because she quit being a reporter.
Okay, here's the solution.
And for 3 seasons just would sit at the
Make
desk
her the
and go,
PR person
run,
for the
Barry,
team.
Run!
If they made her the PR person for the
What was
team,
the-
she could be a
didn't
writer
she have her
and be on
own-
the team.
Didn't she have her own like website or blog or something for like a minute?
Yeah, and then
That
now
was her new.
Now it's a newspaper.
Her new newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah, and she has like
Just let
staff.
her do that. Let her do that exclusively.
But anyway, they killed off Nash Wells at the end of the episode because the particles that are all of the Welleses that are in his brain can be used as a power source to charge the new artificial Speed Force
Of course, because that makes
that Barry is creating because the Speed Force died even though it can't. So,
even though he already had a device that was specifically created for the express purpose of creating a new Speed Force.
Imagine starting
From season 1, he had that.
Imagine starting the show on this season.
You'd
would
be so confused.
confused.
So anyway, so he puts his hand on the ball and it sucks out
There's a
all
ball?
of the particles. So if you put your hand on the ball, then it charges it up.
Right.
So he puts his hand on the ball and it sucks all the particles out of him. And then all of the Welleses say goodbye to Barry. But none of the other main characters are there. Joe's not there. Cisco ain't there. Caitlin ain't there. It's Barry, this
Oh
new...
my god. It was so much better before literally everyone had powers.
No, now no one has powers.
Now no one has
Now it's just Barry has powers again, and Caitlin has powers. Cisco doesn't have powers
Killer
anymore.
Frost has got to be one of the worst characters the show ever did.
Yeah, Killer Frost has powers. Ralph Dibny they had to write out of the show because the actor had terrible old tweets.
What? He was the best though.
No,
No, he wasn't.
he's gone.
The character was so great.
It was terrible.
He was better than most of them.
Like most characters on the show, he was
Cisco-
okay, but they didn't give him anything to do ever.
Yeah.
Cisco was one of my favorites at the beginning.
Cisco has been consistently good, except for
Cis-
then when he randomly decided he didn't want his powers for no
Well, I
reason.
didn't like him.
That was kinda
I
stupid.
didn't like.
That's
when he got
because they
powers.
realized that him being 5
Was
just
game
broke
breaking.
broke the entire
Okay,
show.
How weird is it that everyone on this one team collectively has powers?
Well,
And
it
they-
makes sense because they were all right next to the particle accelerator when it blew up. So if that gave everyone else their powers, that would make sense why they have powers. Did he even get his powers from that though? Because he didn't
Who?
have powers for like the first 3 seasons.
Cisco, yeah, he did. He got it from the particle.
He just
accelerator.
didn't realize it until like 3 seasons in.
No, because like Reverse Flash was like, I know you have powers, Cisco. They haven't manifested yet.
Yeah, it was dumb. And then, Killer Frost powers weren't from the explosion. They were from.
Those were from Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Because in that season, if they needed to fix a plot hole, they just went.
Flashpoint.
Because of
It's
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. That's why.
Why is Barry's hair green now?
Flashpoint. That's why. Don't question it. It's Flashpoint.
Anyway, yeah. So he puts his hand on the orb. It kills him.
Mm-hmm.
Creates the new Speed Force, and then I think Barry stops like a plane from hitting Central City or something.
Because that's a thing he can do.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened.
How does he do that? He can't even fly.
I don't remember.
Did he run in a circle real fast like he always does to fix all
I
his
actually
problems?
don't remember.
To make the plane go like wee wee.
Oh
wee.
no, but it did start with my favorite part of every single Flash season, where it starts with a poorly animated scene where the Flash runs around real fast
In
on
CGI
poorly
and jumps off
animated
of buildings.
and jumps around.
And then the crappy CGI models like
Yeah, and they only have like 8 pre-programmed animations, so every season it's
He's
the
like-
same one,
Mhm.
and it's the same shot. You can tell they always just take the same one and just change the
Yeah,
background.
there's one where he punches, there's one where he's just going like this, and there's one where he's going like that. And it's the 3 ones that they just use every season.
Because he's chasing around. Because they always are trying to make it's look at this cool epic. We have so much money. This show's so expensive, but it looks so bad. And they do it every year.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
But I could tell because there's a little opening action sequence.
Maybe next season it will look great.
But I can tell that was the part they shot after COVID, and then the rest of it I think was already done.
And honestly, they could fix that like CGI problem if they just like made it so that the lightning like covered his body when he was running. So then the CGI wouldn't look gross because it would just be like covered in lightning.
I
You wouldn't
think
really be able to see
but
the
it wouldn't
details.
look so cool.
Looking
so-
back,
I would say it would look cooler. He's
looking
got lightning
back,
all over.
CW's made only 3 good seasons of anything. Flash season 1, Arrow seasons 1 and 2. That was it.
Arrow season 5.
Yeah, in season 5. Was that the one with Prometheus?
That was one.
That was really good.
That was a good season.
Except for all of the fighting was worse.
Okay,
No, season 5, the
But
fight
like
was
the
good.
story was there.
Yeah.
The story for season 5 is better than the stories for 3,
Basically
4,
all
6,
of
7,
them.
and 8.
Because someone took a
Although
scene...
8's pretty good, though.
Someone took a fight scene from season 5 and from season 1. And in season 1, he's like jumping off of like the sides of walls and like flipping and kicking people.
Once they
And then
ran out of
In 5, he's literally standing there like doing this.
That's
front of a
season
guy.
4.
no,
It was in both.
Season 4 has the worst fighting of every
Yeah.
no,
single season.
once they ran out of like flashing back to his time on the island, that's kind of when the show went down.
Well, they just kept doing it like even after.
They did
Yeah,
it
because
for the
no,
first
and then
5.
and they're like, oh, he left the island for a minute and went to Russia. Or
Yeah.
And then went back into
something.
the
and then
island.
went back to the island.
Yeah, it was like...
Why did you go
He
back?
was on the island for the first 2 seasons.
And apparently there was a bunch of like murderers on the
he
island.
went to...
Like some military was on the
He
island.
went to Hong Kong in the 3rd
Oh yeah,
season.
he also went to Hong Kong.
And in season
He
4,
was
he went to Russia, and then in season 5, I think he was just back on the island.
Anytime they needed a new bad guy, they were like, "What country's a bad guy from?" Yeah, he was there, guys. Trust me, he was there. He
Season 6,
probably blew up his kid or something.
Season
like that.
6 was bad because you could tell they didn't know how
They
to
were
write
like-
the show
They
without
were like,
the flashbacks.
they had to explain why the villain was mad at Oliver for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
they're like, well, Oliver murdered his child.
Yeah. It was something like that, but no, season 6 you could tell because normally what they would do is they had 2 storylines. They had the flashback and then the normal one, and they could only write because they had less time to work.
Honestly,
each.
at the beginning, the flashbacks were more interesting.
Yeah. At the beginning of the show.
Because his backstory wasn't like known yet.
Well, because at the beginning the flashbacks was the main storyline because what he was doing in normal time was just like running around shooting,
People up.
just
She
shooting
was like
business
a murderer, basically.
And then because they don't really introduce the main villain of season 1 to like the back
And
half.
then he's like, well, maybe I should stop murdering. now."
Maybe murder actually bad.
Which actually works better when you introduce the villain later on because it makes
Because then he won't kill him.
because it's so stupid when there's a 20 episode season. Every episode's supposed to be like take place
Oh, yeah.
a week after each other,
Yeah.
and it takes them a whole year to fight one guy every year.
No, they should cut the number of episodes in each season.
They should all be 13 episodes.
I
long.
think-
there's
I
no
mean-
reason for them to be 26.
Because there are some episodes that move the plot. And
Remember
then
that
others-
time
and then
he
there's
turned-
some that just waste time the whole time.
Remember that time he turned into a space god? Remember that time he was space god for a minute?
And then
And
died.
then died?
Anyway, Flash season 7 off to a start.
A start.
A start.
A start
I will
for
be
sure.
watching until the show ends because at this
Are
point,
you watching on the CW app
yeah.
with all their taste?
No, I'm watching it on Hulu. Apparent.
Also,
No,
with
no, no.
ads.
Okay, so apparently, is your mic not working?
No,
Sam?
the game's down. Hello? Okay, there it goes.
So apparently on Hulu, whenever because you know they have the next day episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So when they upload the
How's
show,
Flash on Hulu and Netflix?
because the Netflix has
'Cause contracts.
seasons. No, Flash with the Flash and all the CW shows on Hulu are just the most recent episodes. All the past seasons are on Netflix. Anyway, so apparently when they upload the CW show episodes to Hulu, they upload all of the whole show and the ads as one long broadcast, and they don't insert any ads into it.
Yeah.
So whenever you get to an ad, you can just like scroll through it and then just pick up where your show is.
Yeah, that's the tell of any like crappy streaming services when you can just skip over the
Because
ads.
I did that. I realized that when I was watching Superman and Lois, and I was like, they didn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot that show.
Yeah.
It was a
You
thing.
can
We'll
do
talk
that
about
on
it later, right?
on
There's some
Crunchyroll. You can do
interesting
that
things
too.
about it.
You can just skip over the ads whenever there's an ad.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to develop
Yeah.
a video player.
Episode 2 starts. Flash season 7 starts tomorrow. We'll see.
I thought do they come out on Mondays or Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
So,
They're like the only CW show that's kept its time slot since it premiered.
Yeah, and I don't even why on Tuesday. That's like a random day in
I
the
don't
middle
know.
of the week.
Well, because the ratings have stayed like the same, so they're like, why move it?
Yeah, I guess.
Normally Thursday night's the most night watched of television every week, but I don't think
You'd
that's
think
true.
they would
anymore.
move it to that.
Well, that's what it used to be. I don't know if that is anymore.
Well, you'd think they just move it to like the weekends when like kids don't have school, since probably it's mostly kids watching anyways.
No, weekends and Friday. TV does really bad.
Well, whatever. Figure it out. Not
Anyway.
if you're WandaVision.
Anyway, so yeah, I will watch Flash until it ends because at this point, why stop? I'm 7 seasons in. I might as well finish it when it stops in 2 years. All right, moving on. Wonder Woman, Sam.
Alright, Wonder Woman thing. They announced that they're doing an 80th anniversary event. It's called Believe in Wonder. They're doing some new comics. They're also DC did another dimension-ending, world-collapsing event where all the timelines turn into one timeline again. This is the third time they've done it in the last
Future State
like 5
ended.
years.
I knew they were doing Future State. What are they doing now?
I think this one's called like Infinite.
Is this Infinite Crisis?
No. It's called Infinite something. It's like Infinite
Worlds.
It
You know
doesn't
what
have
they
worlds
should-
in the name.
Infinite Frontier.
That.
You know what they should do is not do that.
Green Lantern?
They should stop doing the like show crossovers. They were fun for.
No, this isn't the show.
No, this is the comics.
Oh, so it might be good.
No, it's not.
No, this is the third time they've done it in the last 5 years.
Seriously, can you just stop, DC?
Just pick one thing.
You're not gaining any new readers by rebooting the universe every 3 years. It's
Yeah.
not working.
Well, and the reason why they reboot it is because they get so convoluted that they're hard to follow,
No,
so that they reboot
They
it.
reboot it because if they can, that way they can resettle the issues to number 1.
Yeah.
And they think that'll encourage new readers to go, well, that's number 1. I can start from here now. I'm catched up
Yeah.
with everybody. But that they always keep like some of the lore, but not all of it.
Yeah.
It just makes it more confusing, and then they reference events that you don't know about because the world just exploded last
And
week.
there's like 30 different writers all
And
writing.
There's 30 different writers, and there's 5 different Batman comics.
And
all
then
going
one
at the
writer
same
goes,
time,
well,
all
in
different
my
points in time."
timeline, Batman's a vampire. And then they have to make a bunch of different worlds.
You'll have like a Superman comic, an Action Comics line, and like a Superman and Batman comic all running at the same time, and like one's taking place 5 years after this one, and then one of them's taking 15 years after this one,
Yeah.
and none of it makes any sense.
They need to reduce it all down to like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Just like keep the core 7 members of the Justice League, and then have Justice League. Every other character cameos in one of those, and you keep them all on the same timeline and consistent. And the Justice League comics come out like maybe once a year, and it's like a big event.
Usually what happens is they have like they have like 10 comics that just continuously run, and there's just constantly limited series.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are in universe, and sometimes they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no one reads comics.
Yes, it doesn't matter anyways.
So you're not attracting a new audience. It's the same group of people.
They're gonna keep reading the same.
They're gonna keep
things.
reading
Yeah.
it. So just
You'll
keep
maybe
it
lose
consistent.
readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, you'll lose them.
If they really wanted to make people read comics, they number one need to market them.
Yeah, that's the
ever.
biggest problem. They're
And they
never
need to
marketed.
they need to make them like $1.
Well,
Because no one wants to pay $15 for a comic.
They need to decrease price. They need to do more marketing, and they need to put them in WalMarts and Targets because no one's driving to a comic store to buy comic
Well,
books.
and there's
because
like 2 comic stores
Yeah.
in the U.S. There's like no comic
yeah,
stores.
you need to put them in places where people actually shop.
Yeah. Not in GameStop. People
Not
they
in
keep putting
GameStop.
them in GameStop.
Stop it.
People in GameStop aren't going there to buy
Stop
comics.
that right now.
People aren't even going to GameStop to buy games. They're going in there to see
Why
what
don't you
amiibos
put
are in there,
like
and then they
Barnes
leave.
and Noble?
Patrick really wants to watch Fluoride Ulysses. I'm just pointing that out. He's been staring at the page for it for like
Look
10
at
minutes.
this squirrel. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the squirrel.
It
I know
doesn't
what squirrels look
look
like.
real.
It's because
Probably
he's not.
It's computer animated, Patrick.
It's too orange.
Maybe it's a different species of squirrel than the ones that
Patrick's
live in
Fluoride
Plano.
Ulysses review. Squirrel is too orange.
Squirrel too orange, bad movie.
Anyway, what's going on with Wonder Woman?
They're just doing an 80th anniversary event.
Well, maybe
That's
it could be
makes
like
sense.
this kind of squirrel. Or this one. This one looks pretty similar.
Oh, we got a text.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. That's pretty similar.
That's pretty similar.
Oh,
That was a little bit-
Max's friend is coming over at 6:30.
Who? Which one?
Christian.
Okay, we're cutting this out. Anyway,
I'm not cutting this out. It's staying in.
Everything stays in. You should know that at this point.
Readers just
if it all stays in, it means I have to edit it out for the clips.
I said readers like people read this. The viewers.
So we should transcribe this into like a 100-page PDF.
And we publish a book
We
of the
publish a
podcast
book of
every
the
week.
Podcast every week.
So if you want to read
McDonCast, a novel. It's like the same thing just as the Bible.
we should just publish our outline, and then
Just
people
publish
can go,
this.
and then people can go like look up better information than we could provide.
Maybe we should
Please
start.
actually look up all of our news stories.
No,
We
we
know
should
nothing.
start a new medium. It's like YouTube, but for books. So basically, like
U-books.
Wattpad,
Like
but
Audible?
not for fan fiction
Like
people.
Audible.
No, like YouTube for books. Like
YouTube books.
normal people making normal books. We kick out all the furries. First rule,
You know
kick
there are
them all out
self-published
first.
books, right?
Yeah, but they don't go anywhere.
Because they're all
There's
terrible.
self-published movies that get less views than people who put their movies on YouTube.
Same.
I'm saying we make YouTube for books.
Sam. They'll all be bad.
That's
so like
not all YouTube. Most of YouTube videos are bad, but there are some good ones.
Ours are quality. All of our videos are quality.
This tangent that has nothing to do with the news is
it's
quality.
Fine. We have no news. We're filling time.
Today is like the review / just conversation day.
This is the day where we can have a 5-minute diatribe about go-karts, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hell, last week the show would have been like 3 hours.
Yeah, if we went on this many tangents.
Anyway, moving on. The CW, we're back on CW talk,
we took a break.
The Superman and Lois time slot, which is currently 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central on Tuesdays.
Terrible time slot.
Right after The Flash. They always stack their new series right after The Flash because that's the most viewed one.
So people might accidentally
someone might leave their TV on.
Remember that one show about the girl who ate zombie brain and then she got zombie
We're not talking
brain?
about iZombie.
But that show used to come on right after The Flash.
I think that show lasted like 5 seasons.
That show was on forever.
Really? It was on forever.
Yeah. And because it used to be always right after The Flash until Legends came out.
Yeah, and then they put Legends there.
What Legends was good.
Legends came out in season 4 of The Flash, right?
It's 3, I think.
At one point, Legends was my favorite.
No, it was mid-season.
Yeah, Legends, when Rip Hunter was still on the show, was probably the best CW.
I think Legends came out mid-season of season 2.
Oh.
Because they always aired that January to May.
Yeah.
They never actually had a full season.
The whole Spear of Destiny...
I don't know what they're airing this year. I don't even think they've shot anything for that show.
The Spear of Destiny arc was the only good one. Then after that, it got stupid.
They just started going, let's be wacky.
Remember Time Zombies? Remember when the Confederate soldiers were zombies?
Do you know what Chase Eads?
Yes, I do.
Shout out to him for being the 8th comment on the
That's the guy who got kicked out of JP2 because his girlfriend OD'd and then ratted him out in the hospital for selling him drugs.
Apparently he watches this. So.
Apparently he watches our show. Shout out to Chase Eads.
Sorry.
I hope you're doing better, guy.
Okay. Anyway, so the Superman and Lois time slot will transition to Supergirl season 6. That'll take over that time slot. After Superman and Lois airs its 5th episode, I believe on like March 31st or end of March, because they're behind shooting schedule and they've only shot 5 episodes, so it'll take a break. Supergirl season 6 will fill the time slot.
They're still making Supergirl?
This is the last season. 6 will be their last season.
I thought season 3 was bad.
Anyway, so then Supergirl will air until May 18th. It won't be done with this season.
The weirdest freaking season is when I don't know if you guys did you guys
I
ever
didn't
watch
get
it?
past the first half of season 1.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty bad. So
Mr. Levine's favorite show, by the way.
Not
a joke. He said
You think he still watches it?
Levine for city council.
Don't vote for him. I'm gonna be voting in the city council elections this year just because I don't like Mr. Levine.
What if he watches the show?
I didn't. He will know I don't. He already knew I didn't like him.
Okay.
Remember that time when you were joining the troop and he was like, "What have you heard about me?" And you were like, "Good things." And he's like, "No, you haven't," because he knows I don't like him.
So Supergirl went to this like weird planet that was like in a bubble to like meet some other people, but she was like in some weird space pod, and then she comes back, maybe.
What does that mean? What were those words?
It was pretty solid.
Anyway, so Supergirl will air its 6th season until May 18th. It will not be done because that is also behind on shooting.
Of course.
So that will take a break on May 18th to finish shooting the rest of the season. But by that point, Superman and Lois will be caught up again. And will start airing the week after and finish its season. And then when Superman and Lois ends, Supergirl will come back and finish its season.
They always do these mid-season finales.
No. This time, it's not because they do the mid-season finale. Normally, they do that because they take Christmas off.
Break. Why do they have to take it off? They just schedule it to play.
Now it's because they're not shooting fast enough to air the episodes.
My watch is telling me I need to stand up, but I'm going to ignore it.
Stand up.
Stand up. Do what the watch says.
Alright, what are we doing?
Do what the watch says.
Sam, we're not moving on to the next topic.
Fine, then I'll move on without you.
Okay, anyway. That's enough CW talk. This is kind of dumb, and I don't understand. I actually do understand why this is happening. I just think this is stupid.
Yeah, it's just still stupid.
Anyway, Space Jam 2. The long-anticipated sequel.
Why is this under TV? See, you put this. You did this also. You can't blame me for putting a movie in a game.
Sam, move to movies. We're gonna talk about Space Jam 2 last.
All right. So first off, Raya and the Last Dragon came out On Saturday?
No, it came out on
Friday? We
We
saw
saw-
it on Saturday.
What? Movies always come out on a Friday, Sam.
I don't care. Anyways, it came out. We saw it on Saturday. It was like mid. I would give it a mid tier in terms of Disney princess movies.
It's not
Was
really
she a princess?
Yeah,
Kinda, yeah.
she's the heiress to being the guard of a rock.
Yeah.
Which makes her
Which makes her the
extremely
leader.
special.
Your cord's caught up on the thing.
It's fine.
Okay.
Sam, I'm sure you've had your cord.
So let me just give a real quick plot synopsis. Basically,
This is when Sam talks for like 20 minutes.
so this is the backstory for the movie that they tell you at the beginning of the movie. But basically, there's these demon fog, and it turns people into stones, and there's these magic dragons that fight the demon fog. And then one day the demon fog got too strong, so
Dang it.
all the dragons died to make a magic rock that made the demon fog go away forever. And then,
All of the dragons but one.
yeah, all the dragons, well, but she's also still dead, so I'll
No,
talk
she's
about that.
not
Well, they're
dead,
not dead, they're all,
she's like a
all the
silver.
dragons got turned into stone when they made the demons go away. But
Of course.
then we flash forward 500 years. Yeah, they also just skipped 500 years.
a quick.
In that
jump.
500 years, the one nation that was called Kumandra is now 5 because humans bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we get to 500 years later. Her dad is teaching her to be the guard of the magic rock that keeps the demon fog away.
Mhm.
And then the other nations come in and they're having a party because that's what they do. But then the Fang Nation, that is not the Fire Nation, they're called the Fang Nation, but they're basically the Fire Nation, come in and they take the magic rock, but it breaks. And then all the demon
shoot.
fog comes back.
And turns a bunch of people into stone, including
Including Raya's dad. Now, we flash forward another 6 years, right? Raya is like in her mid-20s, late teens, somewhere
now voiced
around
by
there.
Kelly Marie Tran.
Yes,
Star-
Queen. Yes. Claps. A moment of silence for Kelly Marie Tran.
For her career. Sorry. It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
No,
Everybody
she's not
hates her.
actually that bad.
She's not bad.
No,
It's
she's
the fact-
actually chill. It's
It's the fact that her
Her
character's
character
terrible.
was extremely
poorly written. Yeah, that's not her fault. Anyways,
and then wasn't written.
She's
and then
actually a
was,
cool gal.
she
So-
was poorly written in the 8th one, and then wasn't written.
yeah,
at all
okay,
in
that's
the
not
8th
important. So,
JJ,
just
JJ.
let me give you. I forgot to say something during
Was she
the.
good in this movie?
Hang on.
No.
I need to
hang-
recap
Sam
the plot
has to
before we
give-
talk about the movie.
Sam has to give the recap of the plot that no one wants to hear.
So before the Fire Nation stole the rock, one of the Fire Nation girls told her a legend about how one of the dragons is still alive. Okay. Anyways, back to
Does that one become her friend?
yes. 6 years later, she's looking for that dragon, finds them in a random cave because that's where they are.
Finds her.
I said them. It's still gender neutral. Doesn't matter.
It's true.
And it's a
Do
dragon.
the dragons have genders?
I don't know. I mean,
But it's voiced by a
well,
girl.
she did say brother and sister, so I assume
It's
they did.
voiced by a girl. That's
Anyways, they bring the dragon back to life because she has one of the pieces of the magic rock, and that
Yeah,
just makes it come back somehow. And then it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Where's all the other dragon dudes? And Ray's like, well, you've been gone for 500 years. They're all basically dead. You're the last one, and we gotta fix the world. And she's like, okie dokie.
Then they go on a
So-
magic quest
so then
across
they-
the land.
So then the Fire Nation comes. So they go to get another rock because one of the other
You
tribes
don't
had
have
another
to
rock.
give every detail.
Long story short, they put a crew together. They do a heist. They put the rock back together.
With the power of trust and friendship.
With the
they
power of
bring
trust and
everyone
friendship, all the dragons come back and the demon fog goes away. The end. Okay.
back. Okay.
So
First, me and Sam saw it. Patrick didn't, so it's just gonna be me and him. Patrick, you can take a nap during this part.
Okay.
It's all right. First off, general thoughts. Like, how'd you? Good or not good?
I mean, overall, I think the movie was pretty good. The biggest problems with it is it just had some like logic issues with the dragon's powers, and I mean that's pretty much it. Really, the only major problems I saw were one, Raya they didn't spend enough time developing one, her connection to the main antagonist, and two, her connection to her father. She gets one scene with her father and one scene with the main antagonist before her father gets
her
gets
father's
killed,
dead
and the
friend betrayed.
protagonist and the antagonist betrays her. Like she spends 6-7 years of her life basically
Mhm.
trying to, mend the friendship between her and her ex almost friend. And it's like it just doesn't seem warranted because they didn't spend enough time together to warrant all of this effort.
Yeah.
But
How would you rate it on like the Disney animations, like more recently?
I would say it's
Like
probably.
with like your Frozens and your
Does
Tangles.
the
and your
animation
Romance.
look
I would.
good, though?
Yeah, I mean the animation's fine.
Yeah, we'll
That's
talk
no
about the
issue.
animation here in a second. But like, how would you rate it?
I would say it is like 6 out of 10. Better than Frozen
No,
2.
not number. Like just like a comparison.
Oh, I'd say it's definitely better than Frozen 2. What other Disney movies have even come out recently?
Moana.
Disney, yeah, Moana, Frozen, Frozen 2, Wreck-It Ralph.
I'd say it's
Oh,
better.
it's better than Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, it's better than Wreck-It Ralph 2 for sure. Better than Frozen 2
2.
for sure. I'd say it's not quite as good as Moana.
Yeah.
Moana
I
is
feel like-
pretty good.
Yeah, because Moana was very...
Moana and Tangled are the best of the more recent ones.
Yeah.
I didn't like Tangled.
Regular Frozen,
It's
I
kinda
think, is
scary.
definitely better.
Frozen
Frozen 1 is
a
definitely
little
better.
bit below those, but it's still good. And then Frozen 2 is not good at all.
Yeah,
It's
so
not-
I would put it like right between Moana and Frozen,
and
2.
Frozen. Yeah, okay, that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with it is probably like its structural, like how it's structured. It's like the first part is like super exposition heavy,
Yeah.
just explaining the history.
Like there are
of the
whole
world and
characters
lore.
that just come up, give an exposition dump, and then never
like the
talk
movie. The
again
movie just starts with like a 3 or 4 minute monologue
of her
of just
explaining the world.
explaining everything.
So you think it could be fixed?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's an issue. I don't know how I'd fix it exactly.
So you would say
because
it's a good first draft.
I would just not do the exposition at all. I would just let
I
the
think
world
you still
speak
need
for
to
itself.
explain what's going on.
But
No, 'cause-
imagine if you cut it all out, though. Would you have been lost?
No, it would have made sense if they just, if instead of just doing all the exposition, they just worked some of that
I
into
think
the
they could
dialogue
have
between the
worked
characters.
Yeah, I think they could have worked it into the conversations, and then that would have handled that.
Yeah.
And then I think the characters. I don't think any of them are really fleshed
Would you say
out
the
all too
writing?
well.
Would you say the writing is better or worse than Karate Steve 2?
Definitely
Worse.
better.
Worse for sure. Bottom tier compared to
Sam?
the cinematic mastery that is Karate Steve 2.
The unwritten film, so
No, it's
good,
written.
so good that the
The-
dialogue.
The
isn't
fully
even
written film that is completely unshot.
Anyway, so so I think it's structurally a little bit bad. I think the first part is a little weak. The second act is okay. I think it has a pretty strong third act.
The third act's good.
Would
Yeah.
you think the kids would like it?
That kid's a
I
lot.
think it's entertaining enough. I don't know if you want like a really young kid to see
No,
it.
they'll be fine. It's
It's
got,
a little too actiony.
Does
No, it's
anyone know
not.
how? Soul...
And there's not any music.
it was
in
clearly written
There's
for
no
like
music?
very young children.
No,
It's
that's
not a musical.
It's
No.
not a musical, which
Oh,
I think is
no.
to its detriment.
I know.
I think
I think
It was
would've been dumb as
missing a little
musical.
something. I think it was missing that music.
No, I think it was
Moana
not
great
music.
because
Music
it
was
a
not the
musical.
issue. Music does not need to be in every Disney movie.
I think if Disney Animation makes an
Tangled-
original film, it should have music in it. That's their thing.
It is
they
their
need to have
thing.
music. Pixar makes the good ones.
Here, wait,
Disney
stop.
makes the music.
I don't.
you-
I don't
would you
think
say,
it not having music was the issue.
Does
I
anyone know how Soul ended up doing with the kids?
I have no idea.
What does that even mean?
You know the movie Soul.
Like
Like,
test
are we doing
audiences. I
voice
don't know.
testing?
Did the kids even understand it?
I don't know,
I don't know.
Patrick. I
They
don't
probably
know
were like, "Hot
8-year-olds.
Terry's funny."
Yeah, I mean, there were clearly like characters that were put in the movie just because like the whole babies and monkeys. That character was only there to entertain very small children.
Yeah.
I hated that character so much. That character
What?
was so. There's a character that is literally just like a con artist baby. It's just an actual baby. It doesn't speak any words. It just makes noises and throws diapers at things
That's
and like
pretty
knows
cute, though.
kung fu somehow. It's like the most annoying character. I did not like the baby.
Yeah, I think all of the none of the characters are really well developed. Even Raya.
And like the
I
yeah.
think they give her a kind of one note motivation
What's
and
her
set up at the
motivation?
start
her motivation is get the rocks.
is get the rocks, resurrect dad.
Yeah,
Like that's
get the rocks, bring dad back.
and that's her whole personality.
How did
like
Dad die?
He got stoned by the stone fog demons. Oh, if the demon fog touches you, you turn into
you
stone.
already said.
I don't know
that.
if I said that, but I'm telling you again now.
But so yeah, I think she is not very well set up as a protagonist in terms of like her actual characterization.
Yeah.
And then I don't think they give her I think too many sidekicks, and they show up too late in the movie.
Yeah.
Like they're still introducing new sidekicks at the end of the second act. Like at
Yeah.
that point, that's it. You have your gang.
Well, and the one that they
Finish it up.
introduced at the end of the second act, I think was strongest of all the sidekicks.
But he didn't do anything.
But he contributed
They
nothing.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So I think this was obviously set up as a thing that they were going to do a franchise with.
Yeah, because
Like
there's still a lot of the world that can be explored.
You
that we
think they'll
can
do like
see.
a show?
I
they'll
could
either-
see this doing.
Yeah, they'll
a
either
show.
do a 2D animated show on Disney Plus, or they'll just make more movies.
yeah.
Probably both, to be honest.
Again, I don't know about the movies just because
Is it a cool world?
The world's cool. it's basically a carbon copy of the world from Avatar.
Yeah, it's
just none of them have elemental powers.
This was obviously a thing where Disney saw Avatar, went, that's a big hit.
That's cool. Let's
Can
make
we
it.
can we just make that?
Yeah.
Can we do something with that? Can we make that like a Disney version?
Like Avatar the animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the
Blue Monkey
People
one.
Avatar.
Not the second highest grossing film of all time.
They already own that. They don't need to worry.
Yeah.
There are
They didn't own it when it made money.
James Cameron's already working on Avatar's
No,
2
and
through 5.
that's another problem I had with the movie is they set up this really interesting world, but we barely explore it.
Well, we do, but it's real quick. Like, you don't really have time to linger in any areas. You're just going.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's pretty long for a Disney animated movie.
Yeah, it was 2 hours long.
It's about an hour 45, and usually these are about an hour 23.
And the movie
an hour
doesn't
30.
feel long. Like, you don't feel like
it doesn't feel long.
It doesn't drag on, but like
it's just a lot happening, and so like
and not a lot of it like actually matters.
well, not it's a lot of it. They introduce a lot of elements. But because it's such, like, they inject a lot of lore into it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the journey is very simple, so there's not a whole lot of time to explore any of the individual characters or environments.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, it's a really linear storyline.
And then like, with the locations, like, the harbor place where they're like, oh, yeah, everyone's a con artist, everyone's a thief,
like,
everybody steals things.
Nothing happens.
There's one con artist baby, and everybody else is basically just, like, a shopkeeper, and that's it.
Yeah. And then, I think... The only character that I think, like, had some, like, personality is the dragon.
Yeah, she was fun.
She was fun. That was an entertaining character
That
to
Kelly
watch.
Marie Tran?
No, that was Aquafina. Kelly Marie Tran's Raya.
Oh.
Yeah, the one thing I did have a problem with the dragon is, like, she was, like, weirdly didn't care that all of her relatives were dead for the whole movie. She'd be like, because every time they get a new piece of the rock, the dragon gets a new power, and it's one of the powers that one of her family members had. So she'd get a piece and she'd be like, oh, I can breathe fog now. That's my brother, insert names power that I can do now. But like,
Because all of the dragons have their own special power.
there was never any time for the dragon to just, like, be sad that literally everyone she knew was dead.
Again, it was that, we gotta go get the next stone. We
Yeah.
don't got any time for that.
Stones.
Yeah.
More stones.
Get the rocks.
Get the rocks.
Stone.
I think, like, what do you think of the animation?
The animation was fine. The animation in Disney
I think
movies
it was
is
really
pretty
good.
much never an issue.
I think the strongest probably is the character design.
The character design was really
I think
good.
it's got really strong character design.
I
and
did
like,
think that some of them, their heads were a little too big. They just seemed kind of weird.
That's just Disney cartoon stuff,
Yeah.
though. So I think the strongest element of the design, though, is the dragons.
Yeah, the dragons.
I like
are
that they.
actually
I
unique.
like the dragons in this. I like that they look different from normal ones.
Yeah.
I like how they give them like more unique abilities than normal dragons, and I like that they have. Well, for some reason, one of them can talk, but the other ones can't.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's.
Let me talk. I want to talk about it a little bit more about the sort of the logical inconsistencies with the dragons. Like, they established that the demon fog can't touch water for whatever reason. It's afraid of water, and one of the dragon's powers is to make it rain. And there's this flashback scene where the main dragon is telling Raya how they made the rock, and basically they're all surrounded by the demon fog, and they're all like huddled up, you know, teen movie style. And they turn around and they start making this rock, and the whole time I'm thinking, why doesn't the one who's powered to make it rain just make it rain so all the demon fog goes away?
That was a big plot hole. As soon as they were like, "I have rain power," I was like,
How does that?
So
how did
don't-
you not just never have any issues?
literally
again?
every time there's one near you, just go rain.
Rain,
Bye.
boop, bye. and then like spoiler alert, at the very end of the movie, or like in the, sort of like halfway through the third act, the dragon, the main dragon, that's Sisu is its name, gets shot by the antagonist and dies. And then all the water goes away for reasons I don't want to explain right now.
Because the dragons are linked to the water.
And then they put the rock back together. They fix the world with the power of friendship. And then hundreds of dragons, or not maybe 100, maybe about 100 dragons come back to life, and they're all flying around and doing this thing. They bring Sisu back to life because I guess that's a thing that they can do. And I'm like, okay, it took 5 dragons to make the magic rock. So what were all these other dragons doing?
They were dead.
With the fog?
They
They were
dead.
just
They
chilling.
were all dead? How did they all die?
They said they were all turned to stone and they were the last.
But do they all have powers, or was it just those 5?
Yeah, they all have powers.
So then, again, how did they all get dead? Do they all have water-related powers? Were some of them fire-themed? We don't know, because they didn't
matter,
bother
they were
making
all
it
stone.
clear. So, yeah, just that was really my biggest issue. There's a lot of logical inconsistencies with the
I
dragons.
think the...
But other than that, I think good movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The action sequences are well choreographed.
But yeah, the action scenes are very
which
good.
was surprising because that's not really a thing Disney does a whole lot as action sequences, especially in their animated movies.
Now, again, I did have some problems with all of the characters having bladed weapons and no one ever getting cut or stabbed.
Well,
in
that's
the slightest.
cartoon. That's just cartoon.
But they didn't even do the thing where like her hair gets cut off or anything. They didn't do anything.
Well, if you watch a little, okay, Sam, Avatar, if people have swords, no one ever gets cut. Ninja Turtles, cartoon about ninjas with sharp weapons, no thing ever gets cut and bleeds. I mean, that's cartoon logic. You can't show blood in it.
Yeah, I know that, but like there were a lot of scenes where like they were really really close to it. One character got shot in the leg with a bow and arrow, and no one even got like when the knife grazes their cheek or anything. They never did any.
But
like
did
everyone's
they
got
bleed?
swords.
No.
Well, with an arrow you likely wouldn't because it's like blocking the wound. But like, I'm just saying. Every character has a sword, and no one ever gets cut. Okay, do with that information.
Raya's sword, like the rope sword, like it's a grapple hook and also a sword.
It's the one from.
Is she Wonder Woman?
No.
I saw a different thing, and that's the same weapon, but I don't remember what thing I was watching where
it's from a video game. It's like, what's the character has Valentine in her name.
Mrs. Valentine.
It's not Devil May Cry. It's a fighting game.
Might be. Is it a Mortal Kombat?
No,
it was Byleth.
No,
it's the same as the Byleth sword.
Bailiff doesn't have a sword.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
The sword, it's a rope, and it goes.
It's the same as the Bailiff sword, but it's from another game. It's from this other. It's a fighting game, and the character was known because she had like giant boobs for no reason, and she like wore a swimsuit the whole game, and she has this giant sword that does. That's where the sword is from. I don't remember what the video game is called or what the character's name is.
Yeah.
All I remember is the sword.
Anyways,
it's the same sword as that.
The movie's pretty good.
It breaks apart into a bunch of pieces. It's got like a rope in between, and there's a bunch of little blades.
Anyway, the movie's pretty good. We saw it in the theaters.
Was it nice in the theaters?
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, it was AMC, so it wasn't as good as Cinemark, but it was fine.
Yeah, I think visually the animation, like if
the AMC at Stonebriar is good. It's got.
It wasn't that one.
It's got IMAX.
That's nice.
They all have IMAXs, Patrick.
Except
Every
for
theater.
Cinemark.
No, they have XD, which is the same thing.
thing.
No, it's not. It's not the same.
Yes, it is.
It looks.
Don't
cool.
tell Patrick it's the same thing.
No, it's Cinemark branded IMAX.
Anyway, so yeah, we saw it in theater. So there's the short in front of it, and then.
Oh, was he good?
The short's okay. It was.
What was
fine.
the short even about?
It was they were dancing in the rain.
Right. So there's these two old guys.
You don't have to explain it, Sam.
There's two old people dancing, and then the rain comes. It makes them young, and the rain goes away, and one guy gets
there
sad.
was no short
but then they
before
dance.
Coco. That felt really weird.
Was there
There
no short?
wasn't?
Or not Coco.
No, there was a short
there
before
was.
Coco.
Soul.
Well, yeah, because we saw it
Soul,
on Disney Plus.
No. Yeah, Soul was supposed to have a short in front of it. The short that was supposed to go in front of it was also released at Disney Plus at just the same time. It just wasn't in front of the movie.
They should have put it in front of the movie.
That would have been annoying if you just want to watch the
Yeah,
movie.
then you have to skip through
You have
it.
to skip to the short.
No, they should have like.
Plus,
made
then
it-
parents
they
would have
should've
played the
put,
movie, and it plays something different. They'd be like, "Did I play the right thing?" And it's just a big.
Yeah.
hassle.
Anyway, so yeah, I think it's $30 to watch it on Disney Plus.
If you have a big family, I'd say worth it. If you don't, I'd say not worth it.
Yeah. I think.
If you were gonna go watch it out by yourself. Then
Yeah, just go to the
Because with the
theater.
Premier Access, you unlock it and you don't. And it's like not a rental. You just watch.
And
it
I know
from
everybody's
front.
scared of COVID right now, but the theaters are literally empty. We were one of 3 groups of people in there.
Yeah, and it was a new movie.
Yeah, and we were all spaced out.
Granted, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people, but,
But
like, still,
either
there was
way-
no one there.
There's never anyone who goes to the movie. that
There-
early.
it was-
unlike normal days.
It,
there's no one.
looked like a ghost town.
Yeah, it was
Like, it
us. There were 2 people down by the bottom, and there were 2 people way
Yeah.
up at the top. That was it.
We went to go buy tickets, and it was just
There were
'cause
4 seats. taken.
Valley View. The front is real big,
Mhm.
and so like you go to the front, and it's like this. Like they have the big ticket booth in like the winding line,
Mhm.
and there's no one in the line. There's just one guy in the back with the ticket area, and that was it. So we just went over there and bought our tickets, and then there was no one in the concession area.
Yeah, I mean, it was empty.
The entire
makes
theater
sense.
was like it was.
Sam
barren.
was like, "Hey, want to go see this at 11?" And then I was like, "Sure." And then I texted him at like 10:30, and he's like,
No,
"Hey,
you texted me at like 11:45, and
No,
we were
like
like, we were
11.
already
It
there.
was like 11, and you were like,
Either way,
"Oh,
Yeah,
You're
you texted
already
me at
there.
11 for a movie where we were seeing it at 11.
Well, I was awake a lot earlier than that.
Then why didn't you text me like an hour before that?
It's okay."
But
Alright.
yeah. Anyway, I would say you should probably watch it.
Yeah, I'd say watch it
there's
if you
not-
like the Disney
there-
princesses.
There's some stuff like there's a little bit more stuff coming out now, but like we're still not fully back
Yeah.
to movie releases. So I think it's pretty good. It'll entertain your kids for like 2 hours. About
That's
Yep.
all it needs to do.
yeah.
Alrighty. Next thing, Coming to America 2 came out.
Coming to America.
It's called Coming to America, not to be confused with the original one called Coming to America with a T-O instead of a number.
The title is the only reason they made this thing.
I would say don't watch it. It's bad. End review.
You should elaborate.
It's the first one, but if they split the time between two main characters and didn't develop either story in a way that made sense.
I haven't seen it, and Patrick hasn't seen. Patrick hasn't seen
Yeah.
the original film.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't really even want to bother recapping it because it's not good. If you really want to watch it because you're really curious, it's free on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Watch it on there. If you don't have Amazon Prime and you have no means of watching it for free and you don't just want to delete an hour of your life in a way that will not benefit you in any way, shape, or form, go for it. Watch it. If not, don't. It's bad. Okay, next thing.
Which is really interesting because this was supposed to be a theatrical release before it was on Prime.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a theatrical release so that if you don't like it, you can just stop and you won't feel bad about it.
Anyway, moving on. Back to news. Space Jam 2, A New Legacy. It's just called
And
Space
they
Jam.
are CGI animated this time.
So they were. So Entertainment Weekly has the first new stills and also the plot synopsis. So let's.
It's Tron, but with Space Jam.
All right, I'll read you.
Space Jam Tron.
I'm gonna read you the plot synopsis, Patrick and Sam, and you're gonna tell me what you think.
Don't cry.
Okay, Patrick, pay attention. Space
Do I
Jam
have
2 is
to?
happening. Yes.
What are you doing, Patrick?
Checking out Alpha software.
What is that?
It's software that is not close to release, so it's really janky and buggy.
Great.
What's like, what is it
Score?
for?
To make scores.
Okay, anyway, well, I'm gonna read you the synopsis and then we'll look at the end. So, playing a
What
heightened
does this
version
button
playing a heightened version of himself, James, LeBron James, struggles to relate to Dom, his son.
do? Longo. What does that do?
Can you wait?
No.
Okay. James struggles to relate to his son Dom, who's more interested in creating games than playing them.
So his son's an epic gamer.
His son's an epic gamer. When Dom's tech skills draw the attention of CGI humanoid named Algae Rhythm,
Terminator.
played by Don Cheadle, the father and son duo get sucked into the Warner 3000 Entertainment serververse
Tron.
with the AI kidnapping Dom in the hopes of stealing some of the king's followers.
Clue from Tron.
In real life, he has about 80 million on Instagram, so they're trying to steal LeBron James's 80 million Instagram followers.
That doesn't make sense, but okay.
Cheadle doesn't consider Algae okay, that's part of the interview. Alright, that's the synopsis.
So they're going into Tron to steal Instagram followers, and
So-
somehow the Looney Tunes are involved.
In the last movie, they just went to Toon World, and that's where the Looney Tunes were. Now they're getting sucked into a AI Matrix verse
So it's Wreck-It Ralph 2, but with the Looney Tunes.
full of all Warner Brothers media. They have said that any and all Warner Brothers properties will be featured. It'll primarily feature the Looney Tunes, but Batman characters will show up. They specifically mentioned Casablanca, which I don't know how you're going to work that one in there.
Frankly, my dear, I don't know how to play basketball because it hasn't been invented yet. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was,
Yeah,
but that's
what's-
not the point.
King Kong Matrix, which is an R-rated thing. I don't know how that's going to work.
It doesn't matter. They're not getting Keanu Reeves. Actually, they might. He wasn't SpongeBob.
Yeah, so if you want to look at these images here, it looks like Bugs Bunny is going to be... It looks like the tunes themselves will be 3D animated with like a realistic fur. One of the images they put up is Bugs Bunny, and he looks like this, and he's
can't
got
see.
realistic fur on him.
And just Google it. He looks weird.
Look up these images yourself.
If you're even watching this far, which nobody is, but you know.
No, you're not. There's also an image of LeBron James like covered in blue lightning and lightning basketball. There's one with Tweety Bird in it, and of course Lola Bunny, which was the biggest controversy to come out of this because
They desexualized.
she's not as over
sexy rabbit.
sexualized as in the
Look
original
at
film.
her.
Patrick's like, I gotta look this
Patrick
up right
wasn't
now.
paying attention
Until we mentioned Lola Bunny. That should tell you everything you need to know about
What's
the original
new one
design.
look like?
So that is the old one, and that's the new redesign.
Okay.
All right, that's our thoughts on that.
There's not much that's different.
It's this part that people are mad at.
Do you want this backed up?
Alrighty.
So yeah, Space Jam. This sequel has been in development for like 15 years.
It's not going to be good.
And they started.
It's going to be bad.
They started shooting this, and the director quit halfway through, and they had to hire a new director.
That's how you know it's good. Is when
That's
the director
how you know
quits.
it's good is when the director quits.
I
halfway
think
through
every
the
movie I've seen that had the director quit or was fired, I think all those movies have turned out really well.
Yeah.
Always. It never goes wrong. You remember
Apparently
Justice
there was
League? That
a
was really
scene
good.
there was a scene in the movie with Pepe Le Pew in it.
They cut him out.
They cut him out because of he's promoting rape culture.
Yeah, because remember he wants to have inner relations with a cat in his original debut Looney Tunes episode.
Mm-hmm. So I hope you weren't looking forward to him being in it because he's not. He's not in it.
We're not going to touch the ramification, that whole situation.
Penguin from Batman's in it, so
that's all good. It makes up for it.
Yeah. So everyone here is very excited for Space Jam 2. Sam and Patrick have not seen Space Jam.
No, it's not a good movie.
But we will make them watch it for the first.
I will not do that.
You will. You don't have a choice. You will do it.
No, I just straight up will not do that because I don't care about that movie.
You're going to watch it. Patrick will too.
Alrighty. F9 delayed another month.
Yeah, F9.
This matters a lot to the very dedicated
Yeah.
Fast and Furious fan base that we know watches our videos.
Universal delayed their big movies again. F9 has been delayed till June. It is being delayed to the same day that Venom 2 comes out. But neither one of them will come out on that date, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Minions 2 has been delayed till July 1st, 2022, so that's been delayed about a whole year.
Yup.
You're not looking forward to Minions, and if anything, the further along it gets pushed back, the better off we are as a race, so...
Yup. Alright. Next thing, so there was a Vox article about how they didn't like Raya because some of the East Asian characters were played by West Asian actors. I don't even know what to say about that. That just seems like...
It's just
Vox?
funny.
Just so you know, not every actor who plays a character is from the exact place the person they're playing
this is the
from.
exact reason...
How many English actors have played, like, American
Have done
people?
southern accents.
See, this is why I didn't like Star Wars, is because Han Solo wasn't played by an actual man from space. Like, you don't have to be from a place to play a character that's from a place.
It's called acting.
That's the point.
It's called acting.
It's the writing for the character that makes it, a good representation of that, culture.
Yeah.
It's not the actor. The actor's job is to just make you believe the writing.
Also,
It's not their job to...
None of
be
these
the thing.
characters are East Asian because they're not in Asia in the movie.
Yeah, they're in a made-up fantasy continent that doesn't exist.
They are very obviously...
They could be anyone.
They are very obviously inspired by Asian culture, but it is not Asia.
Yeah.
Does it really
Moana
matter?
Was Moana Hawaiian?
Not everyone in Moana was played by a person from,
Polynesia.
From Polynesia, so...
Yeah.
Get over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's some things you just gotta, suspend your disbelief.
Thor: Love and Thunder has more set photos leaked.
I haven't even seen those.
You can look them up if you want to, but basically, if you remember in Thor: Ragnarok, Matt Damon and Liam Hemsworth had cameos as fake actors playing a stage version of Loki and Thor. This set images have revealed that they will be coming back to play the same roles in another
Fake play of the past movie.
and Melissa McCarthy will be joining them as playing fake Hela.
Cool.
So if you're probably excited about that, you aren't, but who?
Can't wait to see the one scene there, and I'm sure it will be funny. All right.
And then also Natalie Portman. There was photos of her on set, and they've gotten her all beefed up, and it looks really silly because she has big bulky arms, and her body is still real small.
Yep, that'll be funny. Alrighty. Snyder Cut split into 6 chapters and titles which have been revealed.
Yeah, so I'll bring up the names. So yeah, the Snyder Cut, because it's 4 hours long, is being split up into chapters.
Are these chapters for the what is that?
Like a section movie will play, and then it'll go chapter 2, and then the name, and then it'll play. And then
wow,
chapter
that's
3.
really annoying.
Well, it's better to.
Because that means that's going to play every 20 minutes. They're
Yeah,
going to
we
put a
don't
chapter,
decide.
whatever.
Zack Snyder
title on
gets to do what he wants.
I would have been cool if there was just one intermission, but do we need 6?
When it plays in theaters, it'll have an intermission.
Is it going to play in theaters?
So, and not in the U.S., but it'll play in some parts of the world.
Great.
But yeah, if I were to see this in a theater, I would want an hour intermission. I would need
30 minutes because you got to eat.
I would need a whole I need to decompress my brain.
Yeah.
Before if I could not take 2. We're gonna do it we're gonna do a dub live stream where we watch the whole thing in one sitting. But if I were in a giant theater with the super loud speakers, and the audience and the smells, I would not want to sit in the Zack Snyder's movie for 4
It was
hours.
okay for Endgame because we wanted to see that movie.
Well, even that was only 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a Zack Snyder movie.
Exactly.
Where everything is gray and smoke and fire, and the music's
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chapter 1 will be called Don't Count on It, Batman. Part 2 will be called The Age of Heroes. Part 3, Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. Part 4, Change Machine. Part 5, All the King's Horses. And Part 6, Something Darker.
That's it?
There's 6 parts.
No, I mean something darker.
That's
that's the whole sentence.
That's the final chapter.
I wonder which one has Batman in it.
I think it might be the Don't Count on It.
Can't be the Don't Count on It Batman one.
So,
Wait,
yeah.
there are 4 parts to this movie?
6 parts.
What?
Patrick just now tuning in.
All the King's Horses.
Not all the King's men, just the horses.
That'll be the one where the bad guy goes and kills all the horses on
Who's the
Themyscira.
beloved mother?
Probably
Martha, of course.
Martha. One of the Marthas.
One of the
How
two
can
Marthas.
you end on something darker?
Oh, apparently, Zack.
Ah.
Apparently, our boy Zack has said that there is maybe or maybe not a cliffhanger at the end.
You can't know.
How do you make a
This is a
4-hour
conclusion.
movie with a
Because he
cliffhanger?
because he originally planned on this being the first part in a 3-movie story arc for Justice League. Because remember when they originally announced
Maybe
it,
if this is a huge success, they'll do that.
It won't be, though.
they are not going to make
That's the thing, is it won't
even
be.
if this was in theaters and made $2 billion, they would not make a sequel.
No, of course not.
Because they have hated working with Zack Snyder, and they want him to be gone, but they know that this is the best way to boost HBO Max subscriptions.
Mhm.
They want him gone for
They-
basically forever.
They are not going to pay to make any more of his movies.
Unless they're a huge success.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, because he says there might be a cliffhanger, which is dude,
I'm gonna watch 4
You
hours
have
to be left on a cliffhanger.
4 hours of Justice League story. What else do you possibly have?
How did you not...
That's 2 movies in one.
I mean, did he originally plan on the original cut of Justice League being 4 hours?
He would have known that he would have
I
had to
feel
cut
like
that
he-
down, right?
I
He
feel
knew
like
that.
I feel like they told him, Zack, you can do whatever you want, and he's like,
Oh, for
well,
this,
I'm gonna come up with a whole new movie.
well, for this, they definitely told him. That's
Yeah.
why it's in. That's why it has chapter titles and is in a 4:3 aspect ratio.
The whole time.
and is 4 hours long.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. So it's gonna look pretty small on your TV,
Unless you have an iPad, then it'll look fine.
and then it will look correct.
No, apparently he did an interview. I didn't read this. I heard it from somewhere. But apparently he said it's because that way the image is taller instead of wider.
It's yeah, that's why that's...
Because in widescreen, it's not
now,
the whole screen, but in this, it's the sides are cut off, but it's
so you're
top
telling
to
me,
bottom.
well, when everyone's watching this movie at home,
on
on
their
their
normal widescreen television.
it's gonna look so weird.
It'll look like you're watching an old episode of a sitcom.
Well, okay, the thing about aspect ratios is
What did the trailer?
whenever
look
you
like?
make it wider,
Was it in the aspect ratio?
Yeah, it was in the aspect ratio.
Let's go.
when you make it a certain...
Flora. I needed this in a different tab.
Okay.
Gotta clean up more than Yussi's page up.
Let's watch this.
You can keep keep talking.
Okay, yeah. So when it's in 4x3, you're stuck with a certain like.
This one?
No matter how much
Oh.
you make it more this way, you only have so much space
Oh, that's
because
not it,
making it wide. You know what? Whatever. Do your thing.
Go back. How do I push the back button? Does that work? Yeah. Scroll down.
Dead air.
That's the more
This is the Dead Air Show, where Patrick and
look.
Tucker cause dead air to happen for a bit that doesn't even translate
No,
to the
and
podcast.
the weirdest part is that the movie was shot in widescreen.
Yeah.
Like when
They-
it was
they're-
shot, it was shot like
No,
that.
wasn't it shot in IMAX?
Yeah,
IMAX is taller.
that's why it looks like this.
No, but it's still
Yeah.
it's taller, but it's still widescreen. They're
It's
just
so
fitting
big.
more on the frame
It's shot in IMAX, but it's not coming out in IMAX. It's coming out on your normal.
because they're
television.
cropping the scenes from Justice League into 4x3.
Yeah, at least some of them. Yeah.
Well, no, they're giving the normal full screen of what it would be in IMAX if you saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, but that'd still be widescreen.
No, it's taller.
IMAX is taller.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
But it doesn't matter because it's not
Because
coming out in
nobody's
IMAX.
gonna see
Yeah.
it in IMAX.
Yeah, it's your
I-
TV. Your phone is not in IMAX.
Yes.
I hope to God you can choose.
No, it's gonna be
Zack
like this.
Snyder, no more waiting.
I know he wanted to do it in black and white too, but I think the studio stepped in and went,
That's
No,
too far, buddy.
"It has
Stop.
to be, dude. It has to be in color, man.
Yeah.
We give it all you want. We gave you $70 million. You gotta put it in color."
Yeah.
Because apparently he wanted to do it in black and white because that's what it looked like before he did all the color grading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it was shot in film, so that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, "Well, I've lived with it in black and white for years, so I'll just release it in black and white."
He has like the stupidest takes ever.
Yeah.
Well, when I was developing the film, it was black and white. I was like, actually, I like it, so I'm actually just gonna leave it like that. Yeah.
Honestly,
Well.
it looks so much like the plot is going to be the same.
That like, why would you even bother?
I don't understand. One, with the
He
big,
wrote the original. It's not going to be much different.
what the big differences are going to be, and also why it's 4 hours.
What? How
What
much?
is what is even in that?
Yeah.
What are you putting in that?
What is that? What is that?
Like I cannot imagine the story being longer
There's
than
twice.
2 hours.
There's
Yeah.
like twice as much content as. was
It's
originally
twice as
there.
much as exactly twice as much. The
But
original,
it's
the
the
last
same
one was
story.
2 hours. It's the same like
Twice as
basic
much
story.
time to tell the exact same story.
Like what is going in that time?
I bet.
Like just more character, like an hour worth of just more character.
I bet you
banter?
like half the movie will just be in that one dream sequence Batman's having.
Mhm. And it'll be
Because that's where the Joker shows up. That's where he is like
Mhm.
in the trailers. He's in that dream sequence.
Because Zack Snyder's like whole plan was that like the entire second movie would be in that world.
That doesn't even make sense. That world isn't even canon in the movie.
So
Potty break.
All right, Patrick's going for potty break. We're gonna keep going.
So the original plan for his movies, at least this is what everyone thinks it is. No one really knows for sure, but is that the Justice League would lose at the end of the first one, and then in part 2 they'd be in the Nightmare World, and it'd be about Batman, Broken Cyborg, and Flash trying to send Flash back in time to warn Bruce, like what happened in Batman vs Superman, where he goes, "Lois is the key," because Superman has turned evil because Darkseid killed Lois Lane and then used the anti-life equation on Superman to make him work for Darkseid.
Right. Of course.
Even though he's the guy who killed Lois Lane.
And that's not how the
Superman
anti-life
met him.
equation works
That's
at all.
also not how the anti-life equation works at all. And then in the third one, I think it would be the superheroes would rally and fight Darkseid and win.
Sure.
Sure.
Of course. Why not?
Either way, why is it 4 hours, Zach?
Yeah.
Why, oh why is it in 4 hours?
So wait, are they gonna? Oh, you know what?
Also, Martian Man.
No. You know what? Half of the movie will be in that other world. It won't be a dream sequence. The regular plot of the movie is a flashback. That's what it originally was going to be. They changed it post to make that part a dream sequence. And just cut all of that stuff out. I bet you that's why it's 4 hours long.
I swear, if it's
That makes way too much sense.
If it's like the It miniseries where there's just like a really long flashback.
It makes too much sense and you know it.
Why?
That's why there's so many cuts in the normal one too, is because those were flashbacks.
Maybe.
The movie that we have now is a
You're right.
flashback, and that dream sequence is the movie.
You could be right.
I bet you that's why.
I swear, if there's just like a
It just makes too much sense for that
If
not to
there's
be
a
what
2 hour
happens.
long flashback in the middle of the movie,
And it would also make sense why the Flash says you were right to Batman when he's going back in Batman versus Superman. Because he's like, he should have been dead. Patrick, I figured it out.
What?
I cracked it. I cracked the code. Okay. You know how Batman has that dream sequence in Justice League where it's like the bad world?
I don't remember.
Okay, remember when like he's captured by Superman and Superman, lasers his friends or whatever?
Yeah,
You remember that part?
I was.
That's the movie. The part that we have, our Justice League,
Steppenwolf
is
crowd?
the flashback of that, and that was originally going to be the movie. The studio changed it in post after Zack Snyder had left and made it just a dream Batman was having. But that's the movie, and the rest of it, the part we have is just a flashback of the characters in that movie.
Okay.
I think that's why it's 4 hours long, because all of that stuff is the movie.
So what about Steppenwolf and the?
That was all just
Do you
flashback.
think they redid the CGI, or is it gonna look just as bad?
Well, we know they redid it. It was in the trailer.
So did it look better?
No, they just added more spikes for some reason. It made him shiny.
Yeah, he's shiny now.
You know the Destroyer.
He
You remember the Destroyer in Thor?
What was Steppenwolf's motivation again?
Get box. I
Get
want
the
box.
boxes,
What
terraform
did
the
the box
world.
do?
It
Terraform the world for Darkseid.
made Felucia from Star Wars, the planet with all those plants and the big flowers and the glow. It does that to the world.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
What?
It was leaked.
Breaking news. Zack Snyder's Justice League was leaked onto HBO Max.
Wait, is it on there now?
Oh, no, it was taken down.
Oh.
When viewers tried to watch Tom and Jerry, the Snyder Cut would play instead. It has now been taken down after almost 2 hours.
so people could get halfway through.
Yeah, get halfway through the movie. Imagine you
I
turn
wonder if
on-
there's any footage of it.
It might have been leaked already. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, this is
You see
guys.
if you can
Breaking
find-
news,
Breaking
exclusive,
news.
exclusive to the. Oh, Mama's calling.
Alright, cut.
No, just I'll have to cut this out. I don't even know if I can honestly.
Is it on?
I'll just take the call out there. You guys keep talking.
Are we gonna leave? We're just gonna leave this.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going. Leaks. Just finished the Snyder Cut.
He was blown away by what he saw.
Having
This
a
guy.
4-hour runtime to play with really
Street.
fired up Tom and Jerry on HBO Max.
Imagine you put on Tom and Jerry for your kid, and then it just plays Zack Snyder's rated R superhero movie.
Is it R?
It's gonna be rated R, yeah.
What did he add to make it R?
Batman's gonna drop F-bombs.
Really?
Uh huh.
Your Wi-Fi is broken.
Yeah, apparently. In sports news,
No, we don't care about sports.
Dak Prescott's been signed with the Cowboys.
Again?
Yeah. So the problem with me leaving.
So he's not-
He signed a $160 million
So
deal.
he's not broken permanent.
No,
Where'd they-
he is still horribly injured, but they paid him $160
Yeah,
million.
he had a compound fracture.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Snyder Cut. It's trending. That's very cool. Snyder Cut.
There's probably at least clips of it. Let's see.
Don't want to spoil for anyone, but was blown away by what I saw. Maybe they did this on purpose.
No, this was not. Maybe might have been actually.
This is a very Zack Snyder movie.
It's just memes now. Now it's all Tom and Jerry related Snyder Cut memes.
The internet is broken.
How do you do that accidentally? Like Tom and Jerry was already on the service. Like what were you doing to accidentally turn that into?
That's
the
why
service?
I think it was on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, this has to be on something. This has to be close.
My kid tried to watch Tom and Jerry, and when I walked to the room, he was crying as
All right.
Darkseid pulled Wonder Woman's great aunt apart like soft bread.
Huh? What?
Just finished the Snyder Cut thanks to the HBO Max leak. Don't want to spoil for anyone.
Wait, how did they finish it if it was only for 2 hours?
Because
I
once you
guess
have it loaded
Once
up,
you have it
you
loaded, it just plays. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I guess there's people have already seen it now.
fired up.
Oh wait, so that means Darkseid kills the girl from the first part from Wonder Woman 2.
Maybe, yeah.
with the armor.
Tom and Jerry.
It even says Tom and Jerry on it. Yeah, that's
pretty epic.
That's awesome.
So fun.
How do you do that? Like, how?
That's a pretty.
Whoa, good news, everyone.
Someone is either getting paid a lot or getting fired.
That
for
one
this.
person seemed to like it, or maybe we're just...
Yeah. Even if, again, it's gonna exactly what I thought was gonna happen is gonna happen. Where all of the fanboys who have been waiting for years for this are gonna think it's the greatest movie of all time.
Apparently, there's a lot of crossover with those fans and Tom and Jerry fans.
Yeah. And then all of the movie critics will say it sucks, and then we'll go back to the
Has it been
Batman versus
reviewed yet?
Superman thing,
Yeah.
where the fans go, "Oh my gosh, it's like if Jesus made a movie," and then the critics go,
Critics
"This
haven't
is
even seen
bad."
it. Critics haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah.
4 hours and 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I'm excited, everybody. Prepare for the.
Yeah, this is breaking. We weren't planning on this at all.
Junkie XL got to finish his soundtrack.
Yeah, that's good. I
We'll
know.
have 4 hour
Well, no,
magnum opus.
Well, because he composed the entire version of the last movie, and
Yeah.
they threw out his thing, and we're like, "Danny Elfman, you want to throw together a score in 5 minutes?" And he was like, "Do I get paid?" And they went, "Yep." And he went, "All right, Batman '89 theme, Superman '78 theme, done."
Alrighty, what's next? We spent a lot of time on that.
It doesn't matter. We can waste all the time.
Who
we
wants
want.
to be done?
Yeah, the next is a Zack Snyder thing, anyways. We can just talk about that.
I lost the audio recording.
When?
I don't know.
Great.
An hour and 32 minutes in.
Oh, that was like 3 minutes ago.
Okay, that's fine. It says my microphone has changed. What does it change
Is it
to?
unplugged?
Oh, maybe I like...
No?
It's still the blue light, so it's
Let me
still...
see it.
It's good. There's some message saying it changed from the computer to that.
Yeah, it says I'm still using this microphone.
That's very cool!
Alright, that's fine.
Alright, that's cool. Zack Snyder released some footage of The Flash on Twitter. That doesn't really matter
He
now.
keeps releasing clips of this thing.
Well, who cares?
On Vero!
You're gonna...
What is Vero? And why does he use it exclusively?
You're not gonna see anything, because, like...
I don't
one
care.
clip is like a
Yeah.
200th.
Everyone's like, "Oh, he's leaking so much of the movie," and I'm like,
You don't even know.
in total, this is like an hour of footage of like a 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
You don't even...
Well,
technically, if you watch the original...
That's
like,
true.
like, 2 hours of the movie was leaked.
Yeah.
yeah. Studio Ghibli says Hayao Miyazaki's new movie is almost halfway finished. This will be his third last movie.
Yeah, every time
Third
he's
last.
like, he's like, "This is my last one, guys," and then like a week later, he's like, "I'm doing one more."
Actually, we're gonna make another pranked.
I will be very shocked if how old
He's
is
kind of a jerk. Like
How-
his son keeps trying to make movies, and his movies are generally all right, but he just hates him. He's like, "Your movie was garbage. You suck. How dare you?"
CDC said smart thing.
That's good.
Oh, great. We'll talk about that after.
Apparently, let's see, he's 80. This might be his last one. Like,
Yeah,
eventually
probably.
he's gonna die.
Eventually, he will make a last movie.
Eventually he will make
Or
whether
die
it's
trying.
whether it's his choice
Maybe
or not.
his
Yeah.
son can finish it.
That would be
Yeah,
funny.
his son that he doesn't like.
That would be funny if his son that he hated finished.
No, his
last
son has
movie
literally
for him.
spent his whole life like trying to live up to his father, and he just hates him. It's so sad.
Yeah, whatever his last movie is, will probably win an Oscar. So.
All right, and speaking of last things, that pretty much concludes
That
this
does it.
episode of the show.
This episode was way longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, an hour and 30 minutes.
Well, because we went on.
Yeah, we went
off on a lot of.
If you
There was
love-
also a lot of dead air. We just
Yeah.
weren't talking.
Yeah, we're not gonna cut that out though. That's
No.
staying in.
Now we can watch Flora and Ulysses.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Not
Actually, he's bad. Don't watch him.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah, don't watch him. He's bad.
Wasn't he the un?
He
Wasn't
was the. I thought it was the Confederate
No,
general guy.
no, he was the.
Was he the good one? I don't
He
remember.
was the one for the
for the America.
for the Union. Because wasn't he president afterward?
No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he
president.
was
Yeah.
the president.
When was he the
And
president?
they
He
didn't.
was
have-
the 18th
They
president.
didn't
What?
allow anyone from the Confederacy to run for president.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
fair
president
enough.
for 8 years.
Oh, cool. Good for him. Okay, yeah, we'll watch that on the TV after
Patrick has
downstairs.
wanted to watch this.
All right,
entire
guys.
episode.
We'll see you next
See
week.
you next week. If you like the tangents, tell us, and we'll add more tangents
Yeah.
into the show.
Alright.